What's up? How have you been?
Pretty good.
That's good.
I want to talk to you about me having to apologize to your mom.
Okay. I want to hear about you. I want to hear about you apologizing to my mom.
I had to.
What'd you do?
In order to tell you what happened, I have to tell you what she said.
Uh-oh.
No.
You gonna put her on blast?
No. No, it was nothing, but I definitely. So first, we're at Yolisa's house. I'm so sorry, Gloria. Really, this is
bogus. All right, let's
so
see.
dumb. I was working and I was there and it was kind of fast and we were joking around anyway. So I was in that space and I half heard your mom tell Yolis that she had invented café de olla.
No.
Right. No, that's not what she said.
Okay.
I misheard. So then what she really said that she invented this recipe, like her recipe. And I took it to, she invented the recipe for café de olla, which is incorrect. And I was like, ay, Gloria, no inventes.
That's funny.
But it was this is me mishearing. I wasn't paying attention. And then she started telling me the ingredients. And then I was like, that's kind of café de olla.
For hundreds of years.
But she made up her own recipe. Like, do you know what I mean? It's correct. I just misunderstood. And then we were laughing. You know how we joke around anyway? And Yolis too. And then the next day I woke up thinking, man, I think that was harsh. She was like actually trying to tell us her recipe. And I just
dismissed it completely.
I felt so bad. I woke up thinking about your mom. And
That's
then
hilarious.
I saw her and I apologized right away. And I told everybody that was there that I messed up. I felt so bad.
That might be even worse.
Why?
I don't know. That feels a little patronizing, no? Doesn't it?
No.
It's like,
that wasn't where I was coming from.
I know it's not.
And I respect your mom,
that.
so I would not want her to feel bad. I wouldn't want to be the cause of her feeling bad in any way.
Yeah, I'm insecure, so I would take it. I was like, what the fuck? You don't have to do that.
Why? I've apologized to you.
Yeah, and what have I always told you? Don't apologize.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Just don't do it again.
Just don't do it again. No, you've never told me not to do it again. You have dismissed my apologies.
Yeah, I don't know how to take apologies. How do you take apologies?
Gracefully.
Huh? Yeah. I say it's fine, right?
Yeah.
When somebody apologizes to me, I'm just like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Right? So that means don't worry about it. That means I don't need you to tell me that you're sorry, because I feel like if you're sorry, you're gonna convey it. I don't know. I'm just kind of going through the thoughts in my head right now. I haven't thought about this.
Well, you told me about today. I learned that you have a cousin group going with. There's 4 of you, right?
Yeah.
And then you guys, you give each other passes for stuff. Like, you're not taking offense at things,
right?
Right, which I think is cool. And I know you all. I know all of you. Up to a certain extent. So it makes sense that your group would be that because you've known each other since forever.
Literally our whole lives, I guess.
Yeah. So then, but not every group is like that. Like, what happens if you actually mess up one of you?
You have to.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, I'm sure I have. It's typically me because I'm usually the one that's fucking up.
Really?
I'm sure I have apologized. Like, my bad, dude. I didn't mean it. You know?
That's an apology, though. That's an apology.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there you go.
But it's not I'm sorry, but it means the same thing.
Apologizing doesn't mean like getting on your hands and knees either, right? Like, you don't have to overdo it. Maybe that's what would be patronizing.
Me, yes.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that for
that's
you.
If anyone ever apologizes to me, I want the whole thing.
Yeah. I
want the Japanese whole, like, head on the ground.
Oh, I thought you were going to be the, like...
Well, I mean...
TikTok and Instagram tells us that that's toxic.
What?
the making some, like, overly making some, like, that's you're not accepting their apology the first time or whatever. You're making them suffer for it.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's childish, and who's on TikTok? Children.
I don't know. Not me.
Is TikTok going to still be around, by the way?
I don't need to. Nobody cares what we think about TikTok, Emmy.
I'm just wondering right now.
We're going to find out.
Damn.
Let's circle back, probably.
So how do you know about TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
No.
With work, right?
Yeah.
You have to be. That sucks, dude. Damn. I'm sorry you have to be on TikTok.
I know. It's just a means, though. I don't feel one way or the other about it because it's just a tool, really. There's no, this is simplifying it. It's not that it's the same as Instagram, Facebook, all the others. It's not that. But it is also just a tool, right? Then you do with it whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't need to have an opinion about it.
I've never been on it.
Really? That's surprising to me.
Because it's Chinese spyware. We'll be right back.
I acknowledge your joke.
Thank you.
Carlos, for you.
Yeah, like people don't really I don't think people apologize in my family, like the older people, ever.
I started asking.
Yeah?
Yep. Oh, yes. I'm coming for you.
I'm
I'm asking people because I think they're so important. Why don't we apologize?
Because we're too good, Marty.
There's like
we're right always.
Sure, I acknowledge your joke.
That's the idea, right?
See what I mean? It's gonna get old.
I feel like I'm already bored of it.
Yeah, let's move on. Carlos, just deal with it. It's fine.
Yeah. No, please. I need you to laugh at my jokes. You're the only audience member I have, so I'm just like bombing.
What about the cats and the turtles?
Every episode. The turtles.
Well, I think that our family, I think people do apologize. There are people that feel that apologizing would be weak.
Yeah.
Like that, it's too much. Like, I'm not going to apologize because that would mean I'm wrong and I'm not wrong. Or what is that feeling? And
I think that's what it is.
I just know I'm usually wrong. It's fine.
I'm so open to being wrong, dude. Like, I'm so okay with being wrong. Like, yeah. I think it was Ram Dass. We might have even talked. I always bring up Ram Dass, and we might have already mentioned this.
Say it again.
How Ram Dass says, "I would rather be wrong and in love than right all the time."
Ooh.
Right?
Well, I think that speaks to the connection that we have as human beings. I think that being in a position where you're the one that's right all the time, I think that's alienating.
Yeah, that sucks.
It does. What are you? I'm sure we all have this where we have the person around us, or we've known people in our lives that they are always right.
Yeah, me. For sure, 100%. Hey, made you laugh. Yes.
Because it was ridiculous what you just said. But let me explain. Not because you're ridiculous. What happens? I actually know you, and so I know that's not correct about you. That's not true.
I don't think so. I think I'm.
You're stubborn about your truths.
Yeah,
but that
and I'll
doesn't
fight
mean
for my beliefs.
You will.
And argue for them.
Yes, but you've also
not argue, but maybe
you will also acknowledge
when I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I love being wrong. Being wrong is such a.
I think you love being right more though. But yes, you will acknowledge.
No,
later on.
I'm trying to think if I do like
on your own.
Do you not like being right?
I don't care.
It's not.
I don't think it's as important as being truthful.
Right.
I think there's a difference.
For sure. But do you notice whether you, I don't know, grab onto that feeling or not? Do you notice something come up?
Yeah.
At all?
My petty ego.
Yeah, that.
And it's very cute. Like and it's like, ooh, I'm right. I know I'm right. But then you get the push from life. It shows you that, no, you were wrong.
Yeah.
And then that does not feel good.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that I think you can get into the habit of approaching life with curiosity. I think it's a habit because we were
being wrong.
Being wrong. Yeah, no, being wrong is a given. Creating the habit of acknowledging that you're really just there you're just learning. You don't really know everything. It's impossible. How can you? If we're always changing and growing.
Being open to being wrong, I guess, right?
I think you're being conscious. I think you can be conscious about where you are in that moment. That's truthful. But I've changed so much since I was born. I know it's reductive, but
that's not true.
I'm not.
Imagine you came out of your mom like that. That would be so nuts. You've been like that forever.
No. Did you see that movie, Pretty Things? No. What's that movie? That's with the Frankenstein-y movie that just came out?
No, Frankenstein movie just came out? Okay, what's it about?
It's about this lady, this surgeon
Okay.
that experiments on bodies, I guess. He's a brilliant surgeon, and he himself was tortured by his own dad, who also ran
Fucking
experiments on him.
Dads suck, dude.
I acknowledge your joke. I know, we got to stop. No, it's not going to work. Sorry.
I don't want
That was
it.
just for Carlos. You know who you are. And we're going to ditch that.
Yeah, Mari's
I
just
do
gonna
love you, though.
keep ignoring my jokes.
I
and
might.
not
It's okay.
acknowledge when they don't hit.
Yeah. Well,
So
because I
he's a
probably just
surgeon?
didn't get it.
So he's a surgeon to work on
and
bodies.
Yes.
Dead bodies?
Well, this one was sort of dead. That was unclear, but I think
I don't
the
think you
body
saw the
was
movie. You're
I
lying
just
right
saw
now.
it.
So it's about a
That's
guy.
what he's talking about.
and-
That's what he's talking about. All right, so then this guy grabbed this woman's body where she had committed suicide. She jumped off the bridge, and
Nice.
the body was fresh enough. She was pregnant. So what he did was he took the baby's brain and surgically implanted it
In her?
in her. Yeah, so it's science-based, Emmy. So cringy. And the movie was interesting in that, where supposedly it's their interpretation of what it would be like for
Spoiler alert.
this childlike brain in an adult body. So like
Me.
that process, this
Wow.
movie is about other things, but that process is like those two things kind of merging until they become one, right?
Okay. So
There's a lot in there.
So
Go
you
watch
think-
it, it's fine.
so there's a
There's
childlike
creepy too.
thing
Yeah.
to those people that don't apologize. You think that it's like I'm right and I'm this and
Well,
and-
that's the nature of that process, is that child's brain was growing, evolving, learning about being human, like learning about life. But then the body's you know what I mean? Like that brain was changing and growing.
right for sure. That's a crazy move.
Like
That's
it
a
didn't
crazy
just,
idea.
you know what I mean? It didn't just get implanted and all of a sudden they're adults or whatever. I mean, that would be dumb. But the idea
you got to go
is
through it.
You got to get through it.
You gotta
But you're
get
gonna
through it.
change and grow is my point.
But I wonder how many of us actually. Well, but again, it's like I think it can kind of also be taught, right? Because we
Yeah.
see people growing up that are never right. I mean, that are never wrong.
Oh, that's what I was thinking you're going to say. Yeah.
That are
Yeah,
never
we know
wrong.
those people.
And
We've been those people probably. I've been that person. I remember being very self-righteous when I was like late teenagers.
yeah, you
that-
go
that
through
vibe.
it. You go through that.
Yeah.
It is kind of like a stepping stone to
A lot
maturity.
of opinions.
Yeah.
Very rooted in them.
Yours are the right
Very
ones.
righteous.
And then the crazy
Yeah.
thing is, the people that get surrounded in
I
that,
grew. Yeah. And you can get stuck there.
yeah, and that's it forever.
And that's it forever.
You know, I mean, I think that kind of goes to the importance of getting out of your bubble and kind of meeting other people and see, because I remember
Yeah.
the first time somebody was like something. I'm sorry to cut you off. You know, said something like that to me.
Oh, you remember the moment?
Yeah.
When was that?
I don't remember when, but I remember who it was, and this was probably like 6 or 7 years. I don't know exactly when it was, but I remember
Oh.
talking to Yeye.
Nice.
And she was like, sorry to cut you off. But,
think that's
and I was
so
like,
good.
oh, I could use that one.
Yeah. Oh, did she do it just to interrupt you though? Because that's not evolved. I think.
No, we were having a conversation.
Okay, you guys did want to actually hear what
Uh-huh.
each other.
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
invested. I like that.
Yeah, and I didn't know that
Approved.
was a thing. I didn't know how to, because I would find myself interrupting people a lot because I would be so into the conversation and I have something to say,
Yeah.
and there may be like a pause in somebody.
There's my chance.
And there's my chance. I try to get in, and then they're like, hold on. You know, you still have more to say.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know how to approach that. And to me, that was a really cool fucking thing to see. I mean, this is just very autistic level of like not knowing how to socialize, I guess, until you see it.
Yeah, but you figured it out, right?
Yeah, instantly.
I think that goes hand in hand with some level of maturity, because if you understand that it's not just you, you know, you could live your life thinking it's like egocentric. It's me first, and
Do you have a moment of clarity where you realized that, you think? Like one that kind of like set it off in a major way?
might be one of those situations where I'm old enough that I can't.
You can't remember?
I
I'm
don't
still
know.
young and spry, and my brain still works. So
Or
I
just
remember, like Jared.
I'm gonna think about that.
Jared told me one time. He's like, dude. He just straight up told me one time. He's like, not everything is about you, is what he said.
Oh,
And that was like
that's good. It's correct.
I
That's
remember,
true.
and that one I remember the moment. I remember where. I remember when. I remember
old were you?
everything. Let's see. So I graduated high school when I was 18, 19. I see, because I want to remember. It was like summer of 2013. It was summer 2013.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I was 19, I think. I think I was 19 years old. And then that kind of shit, that kind of, honestly, that spiraled me in a way. Because it was a complete, it kind of took me on like a complete restructuring of who.
You know what's funny about that? That's when you and I started connecting again. That's when around that time was when I remember being, okay, so I have had moments of those because I don't think it just needs one. I think those things, I like the word you use, spiral, because it can spiral, but it can be like a propulsion.
What's a positive? Yes.
It can be like push you to the next, or push you to growth.
Sometimes you gotta step back a little bit to take a big jump forward.
Yes,
though, so
for sure. Right. So then around that time, I've had many moments of that in my life. It would be more true to say that it's continuous. Like it's, you might
not me. I just needed one.
You need the push.
I'm perfect now.
See, yeah. Ha ha ha.
Thank you. I don't like it anymore. I'm just never going to make any more jokes.
Google that too.
I'm going to want the dance. I would do it, but I don't know which button it is.
So when you and I met, we didn't meet. I've known you your whole life. Let me rephrase that. When we connected again, when I've had this with a few of our cousins, which I find really cool. That because I'm one of the older ones in this cousin group, right? And so I've had a chance to then get to know some of you later as adults. So this is...
Isn't that weird?
I love it, though.
It's the freakiest thing to me, man. Because I'm seeing...
I love it.
Like, now I'm seeing, like...
Coming for all of you.
I'm seeing Gio start to have, like, his personality. Is that the neighbors?
Yeah.
They're doing laundry.
All right, keep going. Go ahead. So you're doing that with Gio?
Yeah, I'm seeing who he's becoming. Omar is like 17 now too, and it's like the cool Omar.
Yeah. I'm starting to get to know Omi and Yaid now because I just started. Yes, okay.
And like
go ahead.
you can have conversations with these people now.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like whoa. Like the first one for me was Giselle, because I always imagined her as like this little fucking kid, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, you have opinions and boyfriends and all of this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just the craziest fucking thing. He was like, and I think. Oh, we were talking about something. I don't know. I just didn't take her serious because I still saw her as a little kid.
Oh.
And then somebody was like, "You're not supposed to do that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're a fucking 18-year-old young adult."
Is that how old she is? Yeah.
That's how old she was.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. I think that it's interesting because, well, first of all, you've interacted with. I've known you forever, right? Since you were born. So
I've always been
taken
around.
you seriously.
Even when you hadn't met me, I was always still there.
A twinkle in your...
I was always there.
Always there.
Yeah.
That's creepy, Emmy, but okay. So then I always kind of knew you, and I always took you guys seriously. Like, you always took you, whatever you said.
Something that bugs me a lot is when I see family members, like, when a little kid that is, like, starting to learn how to develop sentences and shit, like a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, and they say something, and they just laugh when the kid says it.
Yeah, not cool.
But it's like, hold on, they're saying something.
Yeah, I want to know what they say. Me too. I want to know what the child is saying.
And the thing is, like, they're laughing out of surprise. They're not laughing at them. They're just like, I can't believe this kid just said that. Ha ha ha. Whatever. You know.
I think that's part of it too. That I don't think people can. You can't control those reactions 100%. I think that's a practice too. But I do think you can be in a space where you're taking people seriously, including children, right?
Yeah.
And you could dismiss anyone. That's the thing about being not being apologetic. And I'm not saying just overdo it, but it's part of like owning your own reactions to things, owning your own what you're bringing in, right?
Huh.
And the thing that they said to you was it Jared that said it's not all about you. Yeah.
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 I mean, it's always like things like that help you see, not help you, but they kind of force you to see where you were wrong. And that's an opportunity for you to be like, oh shit, my bad.
Yes.
Right? That's when you can apologize.
I think those are the moments of growth. Yeah. Right. So even the my bads, you were right, acknowledging that the other person was right.
I love acknowledging when somebody else is right. That's pretty strong. For myself, because I feel good about it.
You do? Yeah,
I do.
I think that's healthy.
I feel good when it's like, I don't know, giving, it's about me at the end of the day. But, you know, like I do it to so they can feel appreciated. But at the end of the day, I also feel good about myself for doing that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a win-win maybe.
I think it is. And I think that's why if you really understand that, it just does, I think it frees you up to apologizing. And
but you don't have to carry
growing.
it with you.
No.
Well, I don't know.
If you don't let it go. Like you will if you're carrying that. And that can't be good either, to know that you did something. You're like, I'm just not going to say it.
That's also like
say it and move on, and
that's also forgiveness, right? Doesn't that kind of go into like apologizing and also the other side of that, which is forgiving?
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, go ahead.
What's more important? What's the heavier? What's the?
I don't know.
What's the harder one?
I think they go hand in hand. I've had to deal with right now. For me, forgiveness takes more of like a, oof. You know,
yeah, that was you, because you can apologize. I think when you
can forgive. It's not that I can't. I've done it. It's just sometimes when something is done to you versus you doing it to someone else, it hurts more.
Yeah, that's
duele más.
Yeah,
you know, that's why your mom, like, back to your mom and the dumb comment I made, that I misunderstood her.
So you just felt like a jerk, like you felt like you were making fun of her.
I did. I didn't do it in a mean-spirited way.
I'm a little upset at you right now for making fun of my mom.
You should be. I'm not apologizing to you though, because I didn't do it to you.
You did.
I did it to her.
But apologizing to her, I'll accept your apology on her behalf.
No, it doesn't count.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming for you.
Did she forgive you? What did she say? What did she say when you apologize? Like, stop apologizing, weirdo.
No, we've talked about it a few times already. A couple times.
This just happened. How the fuck have you talked about it many times?
It.
You kept calling her. Are you sure? Are you sure you forgive me? I'm sorry. 30 minutes later, hey, just wanted to make sure we're okay.
I made it a point when I did see her to let her know. And then we were at Yolis's house again. And then later on, like when somebody else came in and I repeated the story, because I wanted to make sure that she knew. I don't know what it was. It wasn't as planned.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Wow.
Just like, you know that one comedian? This is why I thought it was ridiculous that she's talking about Sophia something.
Yeah.
And she's talking about, she has that joke of like, what is it? Like, how do you can't ask a Mexican or something, like what a flauta is, what a taco is, like what a whatever. Because like, a ver, ¿qué es? And they're like, bueno, lleva tortilla, crema, queso, whatever. Y queso, that one.
Yes.
So that's what I was taking for your mom. I'm like, aquella se siente muy Sofía. It's telling us que mira, el café de olla lleva café y piloncillo.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I can see how you misinterpreted what she said. Because my mom.
But also I hurt her feelings because I misheard her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious though.
It was funny at the time.
You were all just laughing at her. So fucking rude, bro. You know, there's one thing I don't like.
My finest moment.
It's one thing I don't like is people making fun of my mom.
Nobody likes that. Nobody. No, I'll take care of her for sure. I love your mom and I would not want her to feel disrespected at all. Not by me. Sure.
Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever.
She's got you guys for that.
I gotta call her right now.
Make sure she's okay.
Okay. Should I cancel this podcast with Mari?
I would say your mom is strong too. And she knows me, so she knows who I am. I hope she knows I didn't mean it in that way. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that's a thing about us messing up in general. Like, you may not have the intention, and you might still have hurt that person, right? Like, it's not.
So
think of all the rules we have in our family.
You still want to make the effort to kind of make, I don't know, to just make sure that you didn't hurt their feelings, even though they probably haven't thought about it anymore. Isn't that typically how it goes, though?
Probably. Some people don't say, and then you never know. And then you get those side comments, which I don't. I'd rather you tell me, because plus I'm very forgetful. Like, I may not even notice that I offended you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
sometimes I will, but sometimes I don't like it. Like the kind of, it's not always about you.
Yeah, we're gonna straight up.
Yeah, we're gonna put like a face on that T-shirt. Like, it's not about you.
Had its face
instead of like that Uncle Sam guy is gonna be Jared. Pointing.
We want you. Yeah, it's not always about you.
And then in the back, your face.
That's a good T-shirt.
It's about me.
That's a Taylor Swift song.
Is it really?
I think so. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I have heard that.
I think that song is about because she has like fame of dating a bunch of different guys, and she always writes songs about the guys and why they didn't work out. And then she came out with this song saying like, "Oh shit,
it's me.
It's actually me. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me."
That's evolved.
That is evolved. That is coming to a moment of clarity where it's like, oh, I'm.
Well, we are all I've only had one relationship
with Taylor Swift.
Yes, she knows me. No, I've only had one relationship, romantic in my life, where after all the soul searching and after like giving it my all, I was like, yeah, no, it was you. Only one. Yeah. Only one. The rest of them, I'm like, oh, we didn't jive well. We didn't. No, how do you say that? We weren't compatible. There's always something, even though love was there. But there's one where I'm like, yeah, no, I think it was this guy. I think it
You think so?
Yes.
I know which one. Is it? Do I know which one you're talking about?
No, you can't say. Don't say.
I won't say
I'll tell you later.
Oh, you can't even say if I know who it is or not?
No.
I know. What if I say this?
No.
I've known all of the people you've dated.
That's incorrect.
I know, but you didn't have to say that.
Oh.
Too late now.
Were we doing code?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah,
Too late. But anyway, that's one of those things. The like, usually, like, I'm for sure, whenever there's an issue. I don't know. Where's the garbage?
Let me get my Kleenex.
Pause. Hey, they can't even hear you. Just it's gonna be fine. Do you remember your parents ever teaching you to apologize to your siblings?
Never. Never.
Okay, so you're the second person. Like, I'm not gonna say who I asked, but I asked another family person.
I'll tell you this.
And they also said no.
I'll tell you this. This is very embarrassing.
I'm curious.
My parents never even told me that I could say another one that's more gross, but I'll say this one. My parents never even told me that I have to brush my teeth first thing in the morning and before bed.
What?
I won't say the age where I found that out.
Let me see your teeth. Oh, they survived.
Thankfully. You know?
You probably have better teeth than I do.
I don't know about that. So
my parents
didn't tell me that. So do you think they're going to teach me how to apologize?
Well, isn't it? That's what I want to know. I'm now on a mission
to fix the family. You're the
second person I'm asking. Yeah, no.
You say yeah. You almost said yes.
I almost said yes.
You almost said yes.
But I do want to create a new dynamic for us. Why not? Why can't we just be loving and apologize to one another?
That's a heavy karma to take on. There's a lot of us, dude.
I don't find it to be a heavy karma. Here's how I see it. I could be wrong, but it's just the way I'm just moving through life that way. That's it. And it's just going to be that way.
You think
that's how it is for me.
It's in your reach to do that. You're not.
I'm not on a mission. I'm not doing like a poster or campaign. It's not happening. I'm not picking outside.
You're going to show up on TV. You're going to hack our internet and just
apologize, damn it.
To each other.
No, I do it. It's a practice for myself.
So this person that apologized.
Yeah.
They.
It's too late. Try it again. Do the flag again.
Okay, this person that apologized, they never apologized for whatever the fuck happened. And this moment, there was like an apology, and I never thought I would hear an apology from this person.
I hoped you would.
And this is how weird apologies are. And at least in my immediate family, I think even a little bit broader than that. That the person that was getting the apology, just completely dismissed it. He's like, "What? That's weird. Why are you crying? Why are you apologizing?"
Yeah.
You know, like this person said don't cry. It's okay, don't cry.
Yeah.
Instead of just accepting the apology and kind of acknowledging the apology as, hey, I appreciate that you apologize. It helps. It makes me feel good.
Here's the thing, knowing both of you, you're in that space to do that. You're a little more present in that way. And this, I think they're in the caretaker mode. I think their first instinct is to like fix and, let me make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes when we apologize, we're not going to be okay, and that's fine. Like, that's the thing. It's because it's not a habit. It's going to be a shock.
Yeah.
And I'm actually thankful for that, because now that explains to me if that person's in that space. I had like such a good conversation with them where I was like, they seemed different, like in a good way. And I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
where there was like always a barrier before. Like there's
I think
familiarity, but there's a barrier. There's like you couldn't get too close.
Well, because I think when you're going through it, until it's over, you just have to go through it. Until afterwards, you can look. In the moment, it's sometimes, for whatever reason, is like, okay, well, I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
If they're aware of it. And then maybe afterwards, it's like, okay. Yeah, hindsight is always, you can see it better. In hindsight, you can...
Sometimes
is that the
you
expression?
Want to. Yeah, sure, we can say that.
Hindsight is better. More better.
Por ahí va la cosa.
Yeah. Ahí la llevamos.
Ahí la llevamos, yeah.
So, so probably getting out of that situation, fresh out of that situation, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're getting out of it. And then and then coming to that moment where it's like, wow, that was fucking crazy.
It was, though.
Like, that was an
Well, that was a huge impetus for change.
Well, here's the thing.
Where yours was Go ahead.
The space could have been cultivated for a full expression of the apology.
Yeah.
But it wasn't allowed because we're so not used to even receiving apologies from these people.
Yeah.
That you don't know how to handle it.
Also, we were brought up in a society
we live
where
in a society,
parents are not supposed to apologize. No, we were brought up in that. Yes, I acknowledge you. I'm talking specifically about how we were brought up, of the parents, whatever they say, you respect them, period.
And that's it.
They can make a mistake, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You're not supposed to bring
do
it up.
As I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm. You respect them, and we're not the only ones. There's this moment of, I don't know how to say this. I'm not meaning to be disrespectful, but there are parents that maybe don't deserve our respect, and I'm going to include myself. Okay,
to a degree, for sure.
So I wonder if we could change that, where we can take
the mistakes of them and
of ourselves. Like, obviously there are going to be moments, I'm going to speak for myself. Okay. I know for a fact that there are moments in my life that Abby has seen, because she's older now, where she's not going to respect me too much about a certain thing that I might have done or not done. Like, there's going to be that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I'm not,
for
I
sure.
hope she respects me, but she's learning, like, my life. I'm on a lifelong journey.
Have you ever seen the movie, is it Encanto? I think it's like the Disney movie about like the Colombian girl, or
in between the walls guy.
Bruno?
Yeah, Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, I like it.
So
I don't, well.
So though I like the idea. I love that so you brought up like respecting the elders, and that's it.
Oh, right. That story was about her. Like, she wasn't respected because she didn't have the talent or whatever.
No, well,
what are you talking about?
Wasn't it the grandma didn't let... Oh, I might be mixing the movies up.
That's all right.
So isn't it like, wasn't there like the grandma wanted something to happen in a specific way, and you can't go against the grandma?
Yeah.
Because the grandma says that's how it is, and you don't question it. Yes. But maybe I'm confusing it with Coco. I'm being racist. No, Coco's the other Hispanic movie.
Well, the themes are going to kind of go in there, both of them.
It's kind of creepy.
Coco was another one where... No, Coco was different, where the kid was not supposed to go into music because the music guy... Oh, that's another one. They didn't want to forgive him because a music dad ditched them or something, or that was a story.
Yeah,
and they didn't want him to go into the... Yeah.
But it's funny because Mama Coco, she didn't care. She still loved her dad. Yeah. It was more her Coco's mom that started this whole no musicians, no music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it was Coco's son or daughter who they kind of continued that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The creepy thing about
They
it.
ended up being zapateros, right?
All right.
Isn't that
Something
we're
like
about
that.
the right one. So that's
Yeah.
but then what happened with
It
Encanto that
I thought it was also something about the grandma being the villain in the movie, but
She
at the
was
end you
harsh,
find out
though.
that the grandma had gone through trauma and you
Yeah.
understand it and this and that.
exactly.
So it's a slippery slope because I think the respect for like the OGs is so fucking important because,
Me too.
like to a degree, right? I understand like you have to see their faults for yourself and kind of be like, okay, I appreciate everything they did for them, but I don't need to follow these specific footsteps.
Well, the truth of who we are is that none of us are 100% respectable. I don't think that exists.
So that's the slippery slope, right? Because
like how that's a unrealistic expectation
for sure. So the thing is, like, as a teenager, you're like you see one thing you don't like about your parents. And you're like, my parents, you know, the whole typical like, oh, my dad or oh, my mom, and this like those people.
Yeah.
And then,
well, we're not supposed to do that. The way that we were brought up, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to ignore those things about our parents. That's what
as you get older, you're taught to ignore it. When you're a teenager, you still go through my mom sucks, this and that. So you get older and you just keep that like, you just shut up, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think the dangerous there's danger on both sides. You can't just completely dismiss their errors, but you can't also completely see them as pure evil. So it can be kind of like a slippery slope where it's like my mom did this bad growing up as I was growing up, so I don't get along with her or whatever.
I don't want to think of it that way either, Emmy. That's where I think
there's a middle ground.
Miss. I don't know what to call it, but I do know. Why don't we just see each other for who we are? We all make mistakes. We're human. We all also do pretty amazing things, each of us, right?
Especially me.
And that should be what's. I acknowledge you. I can't do that anymore, Carlos. I give up. It's fine.
It's okay. You laugh, dude. That's all I
laugh
need.
Because it's ridiculous. It's fine. We're going to move on from that. Nobody needs to know. Maybe we cut it, or you're just going to be in the mystery forever. It's fine. Grow. No. Okay. What were we talking about?
Talking about parents, and we're not perfect, even our parents.
Yeah. So I think that's like the level of expectation that I find it to be unfair.
To hold them to such a high standard, you think?
I think we need to. I would like to redefine our standards. Like the person you told me that apologized, I respect that about them.
Yeah.
And there were mistakes that this person made that hurt a lot of people for sure. But also he did that. That to me is like
they. No.
They. Did I say they? I meant to. Out of respect. Because it's also respecting their privacy. Right?
Yes.
Because I want to. I love, you know what I mean? You want to respect this. It doesn't matter.
I wish we could get to a place where it's like you don't have to say I'm sorry, although like that helps.
Why?
Right? I don't know. I feel like just the actions might be enough, but also it's even then it still feels good to hear that I'm sorry from somebody.
Yeah, because the truth is, I mean, like people are going to do stuff to you that are going to hurt. That's like, I've apologized to you. I should. If I hurt you, I should apologize. I don't think that should be a main... That's what I think you and I are coming to the same... Like, we might be saying the same thing, where I should be able to apologize to you and you accept it.
Yeah.
And also acknowledge that, you hurt me, but I also know you and
it's
for
okay.
saying it. Right.
Well, thanks for saying it, I think. Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you're not going to feel the hurt, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to feel embarrassed if I hurt someone.
Yeah, calling it out, I think it is. Yeah, it's important to call it out.
I think that's okay. I think I would like for that to be... it's funny because we apologize for things that are like, I'm sorry for passing by. I'm sorry. Like if you interrupt someone, ay perdón. That's normal. That's okay. That's okay for us to do.
Yeah.
But that to me is not a big deal. Like have you heard I don't know if you experience this, but there are like these whenever you're just standing there, right? And I see women. I experience this more from women, from girls, like just because I don't know if we're socialized that way or guys do this too. But like somebody, you might be standing still and a girl will be like passing by and they'll be like, I'm sorry, because they're passing by. And I find that to be very interesting because I'm like, but you're just walking.
Like
okay.
Not even in your way.
Not offended
even,
by
not
it.
even like you don't even have to move.
No. And I've said it a few times. You don't have to apologize. Go just,
through.
It's, you don't, I'm not offended by you walking. Like, what is that?
That's weird.
It's weird, but
Maybe
it's accepted. So then in our society where we grow up, we were told to say, if you pass in front of someone, what do we say?
Excuse
Con
me.
permiso.
Yeah,
like with your permission. That seems, at least you're not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
With your permission.
With your permission, I'm going to pass by anyway.
Yeah, that's funny. We don't ask.
We don't ask. We don't wait for the response.
Con permiso.
Yeah, we just go.
That's hilarious.
So it's like this fake little nicety that we do that doesn't mean anything.
Con permiso.
Yeah, but then
With
if you
permission.
what if you actually are in a bad mood and you yell at someone or you take something out on someone?
Yeah.
And then you're like, nope, that never happened. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find that to be like, why? That should be what we should acknowledge.
Yeah, it's hard though because that comes with acknowledging that we made a mistake,
right?
And who the fuck wants to do that?
We should. Why not?
Because
You
we're
just
perfect.
said-
That's the thing in the head.
Yeah.
Like the thought. It's like I can't show this weakness because if I tell them that I messed up at this, they're not going to trust me with everything else. Like maybe there's some insecurity with that.
Maybe I'm interested in exploring that a little more. I'm gonna keep asking.
Well,
people,
I could.
like why we don't like. I wonder if
But there's also like a. Sorry to cut you off.
But I'm gonna do it anyway.
Con permiso. Yeah, I don't think that's not the right time to say that. But I even forgot what I was gonna say.
That's for cutting me off.
Damn, dude, that's why you don't do that, huh?
Didn't you just say that you like learn not to do that too?
Yeah.
That's my point. Like we're gonna keep making the mistakes.
Yeah,
it's
suck,
not the
dude.
perfection.
Yeah, that's
I'll
crazy.
just cry
though.
about it. It's fine.
Con permiso, alza la cola que se la piso. Have you heard that one?
Yes, I have. Not in a long time though.
Oh, I just brought it
We
back.
do have a lot of like good. That's a good one. I wonder if we have any for perdón. Like the worst. The worst.
We should
example.
make a little rhyme of perdón.
Yeah, let's make one up. We'll send that out to the family. So here's one. The worst one
shift
ever.
the culture.
The worst level of like hypocrisy of perdón ever was when it was in we went to Paris once upon a time, and those guys. This was years ago, but those guys I'll never forget. They were like, I can't say the accent, but they were saying perdón basically. Perdón, that one. And as they did it, they would like shove you off.
Damn.
Like, I know, it's cutthroat. Especially the metro because it's like packed. So you're in there and they're like, and they're really just like pushing
New York,
you out.
huh? Kind of like New York.
Is New York like that?
Is what I hear.
I haven't been to New York since I was little, so I don't know. You all
Man.
know.
Well, if there's
But
one
that
thing,
was like that, and I was like, "This is some."
if there's
I
one,
don't think they mean it.
if there's one people that I have a problem with, is the French.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
you don't know the French. You know all the French.
All of them. This is the second time I bring up
That's
French
so
stuff.
dumb.
Now, I think on an episode that isn't gonna air from before, I think I bring
Oh,
up how
yeah.
much I hate French people also.
dumb.
But that's the joke, obviously. I love.
So I'm going to ask my
Oh,
friend
I know,
who
I
lives there.
remember.
I have a friend who lives there half the time, and then she lives here, and she's
Ask her why.
gonna ask her how it is.
why French people suck,
I
dude.
don't think so. I'm going to ask her. She has a really cool perspective on that culture and the American culture because I found out the American culture.
Just kidding.
And she also is black, so she and I have like these really interesting conversations of those norms that we all kind of have. And I think she would agree that in her family, also you're supposed to respect your elders. You're not supposed to point out. No,
Nuh-uh.
no. I'm gonna ask her. It
Yeah,
can't just be us.
But I think it's. Oh
And
man.
I'm gonna ask her
Okay.
about
So
the-
now this is interesting.
I'm gonna ask her about the
the.
Paris thing. See if they still shove people as they go. Perdón. No, I don't
It
think
is
you're
kind of
perdón.
it's con permiso to like the
Pero
second degree
They
or
should
something.
just say quítate.
Yeah, get the
You
fuck
know?
out the way.
Get out the way.
I'm walking here. Is that one? I'm walking here
Do we have a version of that?
in Chicago.
I
we
think
say,
in
oh.
San Miguel we
I
don't. We're very, they're like, ay con permiso, and we say de usted.
Dude, we are the supreme
But we'll talk about them
people.
behind their backs.
We are the superior people from where we're from.
You mean humans versus
yes,
what?
of course, human
What are
beings.
you talking about? We.
I was saying people from San Miguel.
No,
Hold
we're all
on.
humans.
We're talking about French. We're talking about
trying to
saying
remember what you
excuse
said?
me. We were talking about perdón.
I think you give up on your train of thought. That's what I think you should do.
Damn, bro.
You should apologize.
I had
to
a
them.
good point.
think you
I'm
need
sorry.
to
I had a good
apologize.
point, though.
Heartfelt.
I was going to get the crickets going, but it
You're
didn't
gonna
work.
flag it to cut this part.
Yeah, cut this part off, too. You know what I've realized?
I did want to hear what you had to say, but let's see if it comes up. We'll just talk about it later.
Hold on. What were we talking about? Before I said something about superior,
We should pause it then. And
acknowledge. No, it's okay.
if it means that much to you. we
It
should
means a
pause
lot to me.
Then pause it. See, this is what I mean.
It's easier to cut it off because then there's going to be 2 files and blah, 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 blah.
All right. Well, it's fine. Yeah. We were talking about like the.
Culture. Like okay. The Americanism. I think it is for sure a very American thing to point out what our parents are doing wrong. I think it is a very.
How we were brought up.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's what you see in the movies. You know what? Okay, that's a really good point because
I told
there's a lot
you.
of like you're so smart.
I'm the best. Dude.
You are the best. No, that is a good point.
Yeah.
That's I remember in the movie seeing like the kids say like I hate you, and I'm like,
that's crazy.
Their
Just-
parents
just say
let them
that to
say
your
that.
mom.
Where's
Yeah.
a slap upside the head?
There's all these jokes. Like
I was not beaten.
I see jokes on the internet about like black kids hanging out with their white friends and hearing like their white friends say "fuck you, mom"
Yes.
or whatever. Yeah.
No,
It's like, what the hell? Like, you didn't get hit for saying that? That's fucking crazy.
I don't know. That's a weird. That is true. I don't think.
But again, I don't know if it's a white people
I
thing
don't know.
or if it's an American
It's
thing.
not an us thing. It's not a how we grew up thing. We can say that for sure.
For sure.
Like none of us would have been
No way,
allowed.
man.
You would have had not only your parents say something, but your parents' parents would have jumped
The whole
in.
family would
The
have
whole
gotten
family
involved.
would have gotten involved.
You can't talk to your mom like
You would
that,
have
you
gotten-
piece of shit.
Yeah, it would be considered a big problem. So
Yeah.
how did you ever experience anybody reprimanding you?
Marty,
parents?
my parents. I was free to do whatever the fuck. I'm the worst
They were
example for
busy.
this.
Yeah,
I
they
did
were
whatever
too
the hell
busy.
I wanted. My brother tried to take that role on though.
For you, with you,
Yeah, he wanted to be. He told me
like
this one
teaching
time.
you a lesson.
One
like
time
that?
after me and him got into a fight, he told me straight up, he's like, sorry, it's just cause it's the crazy. Oh, they're talking about apologies. One time after me and my brother got into a fight and it was going to get physical.
Oh, really?
I remember my brother's never like actually fought me, but
hope
this
not.
time he was about to fight me,
Oh no.
but I'm slick with it. You know, I remember like him swinging at me, and I remember like
he
doing
did
this.
try then.
Yeah.
He's never hit you because it's not landed. but
One
he
of
did
them
try.
landed,
Oh, I don't know.
but on my face. But it's okay. He apologized.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
after this, he said, "I'm sorry." He said something like just because since our dad was always working all the time, I felt like I had to take on the role of being the male parent
man.
or some shit.
Yeah, that's so our culture. That's so I don't think that's just us, right though. So then him apologizing, actually, if he saw himself as that role, I'm gonna take that as he's evolving.
I
right?
love my brother, dude. My brother's I can't stand him, but I love him. You know?
Well, I
It's-
mean-
so like doing like something like that is just fucking crazy though. Why did I bring that up?
But it makes me feel good to know that he would acknowledge it in that way. Like it makes him more human. Otherwise, you're this arrogant person that just thinks you're right all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not something to be admired,
Yeah.
in my view.
Yeah, I remember
know?
being like again, getting that apology
Yeah.
and being like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you apologizing right now? That's so fucking
He's
weird.
being a guy. He's being like a human adult man.
Yeah.
Like I think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Where is this? You know what I mean? Yes, if you mess up. And plus, how arrogant is it to expect others to acknowledge, like to own up to their stuff with you if you're not willing to do the same?
Yeah. For
You
sure.
know, I don't
Well,
think
it takes guts to do something like that. We
I
just
think
don't.
so too.
We don't
yeah.
do that though. We like it's not something that happens. Like even when.
Like it's got to be really, really bad. Maybe.
But here's the thing, man. Like I don't know. Like I got into a family-wide known fight with a cousin, and
Did I know?
yes, and but I don't know if we ever apologized to each other. Like we just all start. I remember we just started hanging out again like nothing, and this was like a big deal. Like I said some horrible shit to him. He smacked the shit out of me. I smacked him back. It was a big thing, you know, and we just started hanging out again.
And then como si
water
nada.
under the bridge.
Ahi La Llevamos.
Here's what I think.
That's what happened.
A lot of times, as a here's the this is where I might lose you, but as a the idea is as a man, you don't have to apologize to me. I don't have to apologize to you. There's just an
understanding.
There's an understanding that we fucked up, whether it was you or me, and fucking move on. You don't have to talk about it.
Like that's to I hear what you're saying. I understand. I find my perspective and the way I was brought up, and I could be wrong, but it was more like, don't say anything because you're going to make it worse. Mejor déjalo así. Like, leave it. That was part of it. Like,
but also a lot of times is what else do you have to say about it? Whatever happened, and then just move on. I love you. Let's move on.
It was. Well, I don't know what it's like to be a guy in the family because in that regard, we are different.
It's 2024. You can be a man in the family if you want.
Yeah,
So
you can
if you want.
But you know what I mean, though. Yeah. Like we have different upbringings. Like the way that we are brought up, the expectations are different, right?
Right.
So I think that holds true even for the apologies. Like I think for us it would have been. I remember things like, don't say anything, you're going to make it worse. But I was told to apologize. Like so it was myself. It was Grizel, Eddie, which now you know my cousin Eddie, not your cousin Eddie.
I know him.
Yeah, very well, intimate. Anyway, we were made to get along. Like if there was an issue, llévense bien. Like we were taught to repair.
Yeah. I
gotta ask him though if like how exactly that happened because it was just.
You got into a fight?
Yeah. It wasn't even that much. Eddie and I didn't really fight. I didn't really fight with most anyone. It was mostly with Grizel. But she was like the older sister and it was that dynamic where really she was like in charge, right?
Yeah.
And so she just wanted things a certain way and then Eddie and I would be like, let's get her.
Yeah.
Like we would do passive aggressive stuff to her to
we
get
would
her
call
back.
it chinga quedito.
A little bit like that, like the unfair things we did as kids, right? Yeah. But then my parents and Eddie's dad too, my uncle, would always, I think I have a memory of them like making sure we were okay. But if one of us was reprimanded by the parent, we would never get an apology, whether it was fair or not. Did I do that?
I don't know. You just
I
talking
can just
to
say
the
it
side
again.
of it. No, it's okay.
I was in introspect. I was remembering.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know because me and my cousin, like me, Ruben, and Jared grew up like this. We fought all the time, and I don't know if we ever apologized to each other. I would just show up at their house again.
I remember you guys once in a while because you guys would come over our house a lot, and then I would see the little but I think it's different. I don't think if my perspective is that insightful because as your older cousin, I would want to repair. Like I would try to be like. I would be the buffer almost, but not really because you were kids and you would complain about each other, but I wouldn't make it. My role for me was like not to make it worse. I was trying to understand, but also try to get you to see that other person's point of view, right? So I'd be like, I hear you, but maybe he didn't mean it that way. Like I remember doing that a lot with you guys.
You are a guy, 100%.
Am I a guy?
That's such a, you know, when like a girl is like telling you their problems and you try to fix it instead of just listening to the complaining. Okay. Guys are typical to be like, well, you know, playing devil's advocate and all that shit.
Really?
Yeah, that's a guy aspect.
This is funny to me because I don't know that to be true.
It's
like
true.
The women that my friends,
trust me,
women,
I'm a guy.
I don't even know what to say about that.
What do you mean you don't know what to say?
No, because that's so.
I am a guy.
I know. Yes, you are a guy. But what I mean is that, like, I'm not sure that's correct for men versus women because you just saw me do that. I'm a woman. So, and the people I know
You're a
that
guy
I hang out
is what
with,
I said.
so that all of my women friends are guys. You know what I mean? No, it's a human thing. You can either do it, you can approach a problem that way, or you can instigate.
Sure.
Because you can do it. You can connect with that person that way.
Or you could listen.
You could listen.
That's the other one. Yeah. And as a kid,
we need to practice
listening.
A
kid, you probably want, especially me, as a kid, you probably just want your feelings to be validated.
Yeah.
Instead of, I mean, you did the right thing though, doing that. Cause like I remember when the kids, now my generation of kids that I'm looking at grow up.
Yeah.
They got into some shit, and one of them called me to see what I knew, what I knew about it. What are they saying? What is this? What is that?
Oh no!
And I was just like, dude,
oh no,
you guys just need to get along. That's what I would say too.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna.
No, you can't.
I told him, I was like, you're both in the wrong for many reasons. So you guys just have to acknowledge that and move on and get along because you're family. And that's the only thing I knew how to do at the time.
I mean, all of that is true, right? Yeah. And I don't know how to give that kind of advice. Like, how do you I think if somebody's really asking you who's right, they don't want to be wrong. They're not asking you for advice. They're
especially if you're a teenager.
Yeah, maybe, because then who knows? That's a tricky one. And even as an adult, like somebody's asking you, right? Like, if you're my friend and you want to vent, I am your girl. On a pretty little tequila, we'll be fine.
Oh,
we're going to have a good vent session. But then we also have a practice in my little circle of friends where we're going to do it in a productive way. Like we might vent, but also try to also see the point of view. Because if you need a vent, you need a vent. Yeah. But also we don't want to get stuck like, yeah, but that person we're venting about is the most horrible person in the world. And I'm totally right. Because then what's the point? Like we also like, well, maybe I contributed in this way. And I have that kind of a conversation usually.
You're finding solutions, you think? Like you want to find a solution to the feelings?
Yeah, or like a clarity, right? So we do this with like there's a few of us that do this with everything, right? Like but I don't know if I will encounter people like that will all of a sudden be like, yeah, but wasn't I right? And I'm like, I don't know. Say it is. But like there's only a select group of people that have a certain situation where you were like what I'm telling you with the relationship I've had, there's like one that I'm like, no, I think it was them. And even then it wasn't like they're evil. It was more like I know I tried everything I could here. But really
you should be able to say
I can't, that was all I could give. Like you walk away knowing you did everything.
And it's easier in romantic relationships to point out when you think they're wrong. For some reason.
I mean, you can do that with everyone.
Right, but can you? You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't.
Like if
you may
somebody,
not want to. You don't even want
well,
to.
you can. For sure you can. You can, right? You're capable of doing it, but will you? Most people won't, just to avoid the whole, it's like how many people are willing to be like, I think you fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless you're really close with somebody. Like I have one close, actually, I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at telling people when I disagree with them. Mostly because I generally disagree with people anyways.
You have that practice of saying, I probably have a harder time. I'm probably on the other end, but I've learned to, I had someone ask me once, they half apologized to me. And they did apologize, but the reason I considered a half is they also tried to validate their
what they did.
Yeah, and they asked me flat out, don't you understand where I'm coming from? Something like that.
And you're like...
And I did, but the question was more like, you could see why I would have done that or something like that, where I'm just not in that space. Like, I actually don't agree with how it was handled. So that's not something I could give them. Right. So to be truthful to me, like I can't Like, to me,
you can't justify it.
No.
Well, see, it's kind of
I've been in the position. I've been in that position where they were. Not that they know. They didn't know this, but I had been in the position, and I was confronted with handling it in a certain way. And my apology in that when I did something similar was not like but that. It was like, I shouldn't have done that.
Just like
regardless
that.
of what happened.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day that
I shouldn't have handled it
that
way. You didn't deserve that. And it was a period. But that takes a lot of practice.
Because
I don't always do that.
You're taking on full blame.
Full blame.
No excuses.
Right. But that's a tough thing to do. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. The other day, me and Leslie were talking about how common it is for men to cheat in relationships after the woman has a miscarriage. How it's like statistically like really common.
Oh,
right.
No.
So we were talking about that, and we kind of we were saying like it doesn't justify it. It doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't.
But like, what do you call that? It's just an explanation. So typically, this happens because of this. I'm not saying it's not right.
I hear what I think I understand what you're saying.
It's like imagine like, for example, let's say if like, okay, Leslie has a miscarriage, God forbid, and then like I cheat on her.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm sorry, it's just you had a statistic. If I bring up those fucking statistics, hey, it's just statistically men cheat.
So then basically you're saying to them, I'm sorry, but I'm just mediocre. And so
I'm just a number.
I'm just a number. I mean, it's math.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point. If you're letting yourself, this is where you can expect more of yourself if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't
you can be better. And again, I don't think it justifies
right?
it.
Like we can all be reactive. We can all do that. I've been that, you've been, we're all, right?
Yeah.
So, but what if we do things more intentionally? We talked about that with one of the breakups. We're talking about breakups and how men are more likely to go back. Well, I don't know if it's a man thing, but let's just say for the sake of this argument, of this thought process, like that we'll say some people will like get back out there and date and like sleep around right away, like in order to forget.
And then girls need more time.
We did say that, right? But for me, we were talking about me specifically, where I was like, I was mentioning to you that I don't feel that I doesn't feel right to me to do that. Like I take my time and heal, and I'm not gonna be in anything.
It's because you're not
and
a
you
hoe,
were the same
dude.
way. So then you're not either, right?
Yeah.
Because but I don't find that to be like a man or woman thing, right? So then,
but it can
on from
be.
that.
I mean,
but that's if I were to be reactive, then maybe I would.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
not a reaction. You know what I mean? Maybe it is really meditated. A lot of people are like, you have to get out there
healing.
right away.
They do, yeah.
It depends on the person.
Maybe it depends on the person. So
I think you're being. I think if you do that, you're being a hoe, men or women. But
I'm gonna think
I've
of
never
Carlos
been
now
that guy.
every time you make a joke. That's what's happening right now.
That's cool. Carlos,
you.
you fucking suck, dude.
Oh.
I think what you see kind of, I guess, with that specific thing, it's like typically, I think early on that happens. Like it's like the opposite. Typically, women take more time to eventually heal and get better, blah, blah, blah. Whereas men do the opposite, where it's like they try to block it out by seeing other people and this and that. And as time goes by, then eventually they really, like, little by little, they get into like, oh, fuck, dude, that sucks. And
really
at the end of it, the women had the woman.
Let's talk
the
in
women
general terms. We've been there already. Why not?
Have moved on.
We're just stereotyping all up the wazoo.
It's okay. That's fun. At the end of it, they're over it. They've moved on with their lives. 3 months have passed. They've done the grieving process of the breakup, and then 3 months later, the men are finally like, "Oh damn, I fucked up. What did I do?" Yeah,
I don't know that. I would see. I mean, I don't know how people are. I always figured that was depending on the person, because I think I told you about a friend that I had. I've lost touch with her, but when she was first divorced, she was like on the apps, like one after the other, like just, and it was like one of those. It was just that was her way of coping. And we were both Catholic background, like very conservative. Like it's not like we're not sleeping around. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But for her, like that's not how. It wasn't like she was brought up in a liberal thing, and I wasn't. It's not that. We had very similar upbringing, and so just for her, it felt right to her to do that. Like she just, but it didn't. For me, it wasn't the same way. Like it didn't feel like I didn't feel good doing. I didn't want to do that. Like I didn't.
But
even
you don't
think
do
of doing
that. You don't do that generally, even
No.
after relationships.
Right. That's my point. But she
Yeah.
did. So it's not like, and it's not a guy thing. She did that route where she was just like, I'm going to have fun. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there are women that go around and like, well, let's go back to the forgiveness. We totally derailed.
There are women out there who want to
But
hurt.
you were telling me about the thing that you said about the miscarriage thing. Like you can't just say like you can't
Yeah, you can't justify it. Like
No.
there's explanation. Like, hey, I'm
It's not
sorry
gonna
I
land.
hurt. I'm sorry I hurt you. But this was the.
I'm just a
this
guy.
is what happened.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't seem
It's
right.
not a justification of it, but
Well,
there
that's
is
the
an
thing I
explanation
feel.
to it.
Right. So that's the thing I feel about the parent thing. Like I could say to Abby, I'm sorry, but I'm just your mom and you have to forgive me. But I don't feel that way. I don't think
She
that's
doesn't have to
correct.
forgive you, but you
I
are her
agree.
mom, and until she, because you're old enough to
Like
understand.
I could tell her, you need to respect me regardless of what I do. And I want to say that, and in my brain it makes sense, but I'm toying with the idea that I don't think she needs to. The reality is she won't respect me. That's not something I can demand.
But I think as you get older, you learn to actually respect and understand where your parents were coming from, because you didn't know any better because you were a
none
kid.
of us do.
And that's
Yeah.
I feel like
get that.
that's what I'm saying, the slippery slope of saying just completely disregard the parents. I feel like that is the wrong route we could go, where we just say, do whatever you want, kid.
Yeah.
You know?
What if it's super toxic though? For example,
It can be.
you're in an abusive household, narcissist level abuse, right?
All of us can relate. Both of us. No.
No.
Just kidding.
There's
Just kidding.
acknowledge it.
By the way, pause for the
Can't.
two turtles. Look at them. They're so cute.
Are they?
Look at them. They're both
just chilling,
basking.
like, what is that yoga pose they're doing?
They're doing serpent.
It's that one.
Serpent
Yeah.
pose. But
No,
their
they're
heat
good.
lamp isn't on, and it bugs me because it se fundió. So they're waiting for heat because they see the light, but there's no heat.
Oh, I was confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just seeing it on.
I got
don't know.
distracted. I had to point it
Flag
out
that.
because they
That's-
look adorable. But yeah, toxic households.
Oh yeah. So if you're in a toxic household, so this is an example, right? But and this is not something that we were brought up to do. Like in our culture, that's your parent and that's it.
Yeah.
Period. Just the hierarchy of the parent, like and there's it goes up to the older people in the family.
Uh-huh.
So I'm supposed to respect everyone that's older than me just because they're older,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Period.
I think so.
And I'm going to tell you all, I respect many of the older people in my family, but I don't respect everyone.
Well, I think
Like I find things to respect about
them. That's what I'm saying.
But there are a few people that I'm like, this is a person that I really admire, and you know what I mean? That's a different thing for me.
So
I'm
there-
not just respecting you just because you're older.
But I think there
You
is some merit that comes with just respecting somebody because just because they've lived more than you. I mean, there's people that are younger than you that have lived more than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, then that's not age based, right? But yes, I think that we make a mistake though, where there's a veneration for older. And what if that person was a
Well,
know
that's
what I mean?
Well, see, here's the thing.
like?
Yeah.
I don't think that we should just give respect. This is very American of me,
Yes.
where I want. It's
You
not
want
that
to
I'm
hold accountable.
accountable.
That's such an American thing.
So American. I also think that
Catholics just let them do their thing.
Yes.
You leave the.
I want you to know I'm not making fun.
We have
Okay,
to
there's
bleep the
been-
word. By the way,
We do?
YouTube does not.
Oh, okay, flag it.
that.
Let's just cut
But-
the whole thing.
No, it's okay. Baby, baby.
I don't want to. The American part of that is like is what we see in movies where you're not gonna that earning of the respect. You gotta
Yeah.
earn my respect.
Yeah.
That's not something we in our culture. It's given if you have certain things under your belt, parenthood, being older.
Uh-huh.
What else? If you've accomplished something,
If you have money,
if you have money,
If you
I was
go to
gonna say
church
that
on
too. If
Sunday.
you go to church on Sunday, you're an example of the life that you're supposed to live.
Yeah.
That's all to be, and that those are respectable things. It's not that they're not respectable things. It's that there's also a danger where just because you check all those boxes, you should respect
fully.
blindly.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
see,
don't
it's
think
funny
that's healthy. I
because
don't think that's correct.
I think I agree with you, but I'm looking at it from the other side of it,
All right.
where it's the same thing, except I respect people first and foremost, while also being aware of the faults that you do not respect. You know what I'm saying?
I think
it's like the same thing, but also, but it's just like from the right. Is that like that's kind of how how that's what works for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Guess. So I think I would say there's a danger. You know how you said there's a danger to like respect first because of all of that? I think there's a danger to no respect first because that might take away the goodness in some people.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying. I actually made that mistake. But I don't think it was a mistake. And it's the same thing that happened with your mom. It wasn't intentional. But I called my brother-in-law's mom. I started saying tú instead of usted.
And in their culture, it's not okay?
It's not okay. And my mom called me out on it. She's like, you should call her de usted. Why?
Yeah, but it's your mom. You know what I'm saying?
No, but she's right.
Your mom also told me that I can't sit like this
at
the table.
Oh, with your... Yeah, man.
Like sit on my leg. Yeah, exactly. So, no, but I mean, there's something to that.
We get more informal.
It's kind of like that Korean show I was telling you, the dating show. Yeah. Where there was like, what did I tell you they say? Can we speak formally?
Oh, yeah.
They like ask for permission to speak formally.
Go ahead. Let's see if you can.
Do you want to speak formally now? Which I think there's something really to that, man.
There is something to that, but I don't think that that should be... Well, I already explained it.
The respect comes first, in like even in those cultures.
Have you guys started seeing that Hulu Shogun?
Mari, I just started watching Shogun.
Oh my god, I'm so hooked.
You know what's crazy?
I can't even.
Mari, I was waiting.
Googling stuff.
I swear to you, so Mari. Mari, I wanted to bring it up right. It was in my head.
Because that's all. They're all about like the formalities in
and
that
it's
culture.
It's the English
what was
dude.
It, the 1600s?
Yeah.
Correct me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 1600s. So it's the English dude getting washing up in Japan, and him being like brash sailor guy.
Yeah.
And then telling like, if you want to survive here, bow your fucking head, asshole.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like speak to them like this. That's how we talk to each other here.
It's all about the appearance of respect. For the Japanese.
And there's some importance to that, man. That's what I'm saying.
It's fascinating.
There's something about today's culture, and especially American culture, where like you're saying, it's the opposite. Fuck you. What have you done to earn my respect? Instead of saying you've done this already, so now I don't respect you because of this.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where I want to be clear about that because to me it's an exploration.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one or the other. I'm telling you my personal view, right?
And I'm telling you my personal view.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. And so for me, I'm questioning that because why do we have to I'm not comfortable with just giving I'm going to be cordial and civil, but my personal respect given, I am not as free with it as I used to be.
Is it yours though?
It is, yeah. Yeah. Respect is, I think it is. That's the thing about those, what I was watching in Shogun.
Okay.
Where your respect
is it Shogun or Shogun?
I don't know.
You said Shogun.
Like the old
You
Shogun.
sounded like...
That's for German.
You sounded like Uncle James.
Well, because it's that other... Yeah, no, but I know that. There's a funny meme where like, make sure you have the right Shogun downloaded or whatever. And it's the guy from The Office, the Stanley guy. And like
I never watched The Office. But I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, too late.
So, Shogun. That's for you, brother.
Shogun. Anyway, something else.
Do you remember? Never mind. That's for another day. We're talking about
respect, though. Yeah. So that's their... I'm feeling very much like an outsider. But the funny thing, because obviously we're not Japanese. Newsflash.
I'm pretty versed in Japanese culture. I watched Dragon Ball Z.
Then you're Japanese.
Yes.
So, but don't you find there to be like, do you find some commonalities from how we grew up?
But that's what I'm telling
that
you.
Makes sense.
That's what I'm telling you. I am so not stuck on, literally, but I'm starting to realize, and I'm starting to strongly see that. What the fuck am I trying to say here? I think that it's an American culture. It's an American thing, dude. American is so me, and fuck you. You know, that's American. It's like, I don't respect you. What have you done? I think that's what it is. The whole fucking world.
I wonder too.
Except the French. Just kidding. The whole world is very respectful for other people. And here, it's only here. From what I've seen, is the other way around.
Yeah, so there are some cultural things too. And here's where I'm more ignorant about our American side, because my touch points with that are actual individual people, right? So and there's like a group of people that we work with right now where they're actually very respectful, like, and they're Americans. They're not like I encounter respect.
These new Americans. These like
no, it's
anti-America Americans.
It's like regular people America versus mainstream America. Not what you see in movies, but like real people living their lives.
So what are they like?
Just they're people. It doesn't matter.
So these people specifically, can you generalize broadly? Not like this doesn't define them. But if you were to say, let's say you were a fucking explorer and you've stumbled upon these people and you're supposed to write generally what you see. What would you say?
Based on what I have, so that's the thing. We grew up in a city where we're actually pretty low key. I don't think we're a braggy city. You know
Chicago?
What I mean? I think we're pretty
not
humble.
Too much until the Bulls won 6 championships in a row.
That was special.
And then we became the greatest fucking city. And ever since that, I think Chicago pride, the biggest part of Chicago pride comes from that in recent years.
That was cool. Remember being on the streets? Were you
I was a baby
young enough?
boy.
Oh,
I wasn't born for 2 of them. The third one I was
all of us were
born.
like out in the streets.
Flipping cars and shit.
Yeah, I wasn't a car flipper, obviously.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not strong enough. I mean, you were like 10.
Well, you've had encounters with, what about your dad, your dad's boss? Like, I know you,
He's Mexican.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, what about that guy from the steel company?
That guy.
That guy. Yeah.
I never met him.
Like everybody speaks very highly of him. They respect him. He's respectable. Do you know what I mean? He's like a good guy. American, right?
No, I don't know, actually.
Is he not?
I don't know if he...
I just assumed he was.
Yeah, he
could. His name was like...
Bruno. He could have been Italian or some shit. I don't know if it was Bruno. But...
it's like the song.
We don't talk about Bruno.
No.
I
gotta learn that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I that's...
When I talk to you about the American stuff, like I'm
think about white folks?
Instances, and I'm comparing like mostly to mostly, right? I don't really know.
You don't know. But this is a podcast where we can generalize, and it's a safe space. Let's generalize.
Yeah. So when I'm speaking about our Mexican culture, even, I really am speaking about the town where we're from. And that's it.
And also our family.
Because I think I told you, like, even the person that I dated, there's a person that I dated that was Mexican, born and raised Mexican, and that he had a different expectation of like how to respect as a girlfriend towards a guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I was very different on.
Yeah.
And also even where I grew up, that it's different even there. So I was hard to keep track.
Yeah,
of like
for sure. Like my girl's family's from Mexico City. Oh. And even they're so different.
They're different.
They speak, the words are different.
The expectations are different.
Yes. There's
like you might want to be like, "Are you okay?" And she's probably like, "It's fine."
Like the thing, like they are much more, I want to say what I'm calling Americanized. They're not, but it's just because it's Mexico City.
Well, they're very like cosmopolitan too in that city. It's not like there's so many.
They're not as traditional with the whole all the shit that we grew. Not the shit, all the stuff.
Maybe
that
say
we
no
grew up
son
with,
persinados. Like that's the place where abortion is legal. Is only in Mexico City. Right?
Really?
Is that still the case? I don't know.
Let me book my ticket because I need one right now.
But like the rest of the country, not right. I don't know.
I don't know.
Go find that out. Sorry.
Didn't
I'm
they recently?
It's just a touch point of like the culture is different. So
can we talk about abortion and women's rights on this podcast, please?
Yeah, because you're qualified.
Yeah, I am a human being.
Sure, with a uterus, totally get it.
What's a uterus again?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and if we're talking about respect, there's like I think when we come to this country, like I think we kind of learn to adapt to the culture, but I also think that some things are universal, right? Like, don't mess with someone else's happiness, right? Like, I like that about
freedom, baby. That's the freedom
here.
of America, man.
I
That
like
people
the freedom,
don't want to acknowledge.
as long as you're not hurting someone else. I think that we have a general consensus that as long as you're not messing with someone else,
whatever you want.
You should, right? That's the idea.
Yes,
I don't know if that really
it can get
holds
misconstrued, and it can people interpret it in different ways and shit. But at the end of the day, fundamentally, that's the truth. The truth is,
it would be nice if that were the truth.
The truth is,
I don't know if that's the truth.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, to ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Hail Satan. That's what it says at the end of it. Coming. Did you ever read the Constitution? That's what it says, all of that.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
You know what I thought about? Like, maybe did they make you study that for your green card? Is that why you know that?
I was born here, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who knows that? Those of us that were born here, you learn it to pass the Constitution test. Who remembers that? I don't remember that.
I love my country. I love this country. That's
Me
why.
too, but I don't know the Constitution by heart.
I'm crazy, I guess.
Is it the Bill of Rights? What is that?
That's the preamble to the Constitution.
It's a preamble to the Constitution. Yeah. I don't
but
remember.
So it's based. It's based on that. Then you go to the Bill of Rights, and it's based on individual freedoms and rights.
By the way, the Hail Satan part, that's what makes our family want to pray for you. You're going to get comments. Remember that one time? You should probably apologize to that now that we're on the subject. Go ahead.
I'm not a Satanist. I love Jesus. In fact, I would say that I have such a close, intimate relationship with Jesus Christ. Not even joking.
I know you're not
that
joking.
I'm like,
you just say,
I'm not afraid.
Satan. So.
I'm not. I have a respect for that stuff, but also we can have a good time. You know what I'm saying?
I tried. So you're going to respect. Let me just fill people in who don't know the younger generation of our family.
Okay.
You got in trouble because you put something up on Facebook.
You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
I had my long hair and I had the horns.
Yeah.
It was a bad. You know what's crazy?
He had people in Mexico praying for him. And I thought it was funny because I know you're not. Like, I know it was a joke. But it wasn't a joke.
It was cool.
You thought it was cool?
I thought it looked cool, man. Yeah, it was fucking cool. I'm not saying that I worship and I want to be this devil character.
I didn't think you said that.
But I thought it would look
But I
cool.
thought you did it from, like, those dumb things you do.
It was
not
one
just
of
you
those.
personally, but you know what I mean?
Still
You're
thought
like,
it was cool.
Like that. I thought it was that.
Yeah. It was a song.
Well, you got in trouble.
I think people got worried more.
People were worried. They were praying for you.
I can't believe you remember that.
Yeah, because I was so like, also was like, am I
a
should
Satanist?
I worry about myself? Oh. No, because I'm like, am I too desensitized? Because I'm like, should I be offended by this? But I wasn't.
It's funny because I never thought that people still think about that. And here you are bringing it up.
Well, it's on the subject.
That's crazy.
And I wanted to give you the opportunity to apologize officially.
No, it's okay. I don't have to. Because God knows my heart. And I'm not worried about what anybody else thinks. That's on them. That's not my karma to think, to worry about what other people are thinking about.
That's true.
As I blow my nose.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good place to wrap. Now that you're not going to apologize.
Let me just say one thing. That picture is the last picture that I had of myself with my long, thick, curly hair.
Uh-huh.
And I felt they didn't make me feel bad, but because of all the backlash that I received, I deleted the picture.
You did?
And I
didn't know that.
So bummed out. Because back then, I didn't take pictures of myself.
Did you, like, on the post and everything, you deleted the post?
I deleted the picture, I deleted the post, I just got rid of it. I was like, fuck it, whatever.
It was too much.
Yeah. And it bums me out thinking today. Not today right now, but like I've thought about like, fuck, man. Because back then I didn't take a lot of pictures of myself. And that was like one of the few pictures that I had of myself with my hair.
Your full.
It's funny, like today.
Glory.
Yeah, nowadays I still imagine myself as having, like I still feel myself as that person.
Really?
Well, but then I look in the mirror, I'm like, what the fuck? It's me. I still think that I have the long hair. It still surprises me to. And
we
anyways,
should talk about that next time. next or in one of them? Like how you see
identifying yourself with your body.
What do you see when you look in the mirror?
When I look in the mirror, I see a bad motherfucker, dude.
With the long hair.
No, I don't see it anymore. When I see it in the mirror, that's what I see now, just a bald.
I just saw you as an Emmy with the long hair.
Yeah,
it didn't seem badass to me.
I thought it was cool. I thought my hair. I didn't think
interesting because then that's how you saw it. I'm not saying it's one or the other.
I don't think it made me badass. I think just it was badass.
Like a feeling of I like this.
I love my hair, and I love it blowing in the wind and rock when I would move to the music. The romance novels. Oh, even better than that. Like the guys from the metal concerts, dude.
Oh, the metal concerts. Oh, I got you.
Anyways,
well, you can always grow it back.
I can't actually. I literally cannot grow it back. Anymore.
I mean, you just don't have this part. So
I don't have the. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have just.
It's still enough there.
No,
I say you try it.
I've tried
one
it
last time. Really?
Yeah, it didn't work. Do you remember what I looked like when I was running Alteño?
Sort of, yeah.
That was the attempt. It just didn't work. There was nothing happening up here, and it just looked gross.
What I'm hearing, Emmy, is that you're not going to apologize.
I'm not going to apologize for a devil joke because God knows my heart.
Okay.
And I stand true with that.
Would you apologize to people in your family?
Are you trying to make me apologize? Are you trying to cancel me right now for making a devil joke?
I think if we're going to get canceled, it's going to happen. We can't. That's
out of all the things people can cancel me.
This is another one. This is another one.
This is the least one. That's the least one.
You're worried about being canceled, and like everyone, there's something. I'm like, I don't think we need to worry about that.
I suck, huh?
Fine. Well, I promise I would definitely apologize
for saying
if
that.
I did something.
You would apologize for saying that?
No, I don't think I would apologize for that one. I was just curious if you would.
For that? I wouldn't apologize for that.
I don't think I would have. Because it was just like you said, it wasn't.
Nobody's going to listen this far into the podcast, by the way.
Let's just cut it.
All right, bye.
Adios.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment.
Don't leave me a comment about the devil worshipping.
Yeah. Praise God.
No, it wasn't devil worshipping. Just, what did you say again?
It was just, I was just reading the Constitution.
All right,
that's what it says at the end of the Constitution. Yeah. Look it up. Bye.
The end. You know what?